Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Living in Northern California, and today we have another hot topic. Last time we did Roseville versus Rocklin. We're gonna do Rocklin versus Folsom. We've been getting a lot of calls about Folsom. People are curious, so that's what we're gonna talk about right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm Steve Gonzalez.
And I'm Rose Gonzalez with the Gonzalez Real Estate Team. Hey, if you're new to our channel, make sure to give a little love to that subscribe button and click on that notification button so you can be the first to know about what's happening here in Northern California. All right, so we are gonna talk about Folsom versus Rocklin. And so, you know, it is, because we actually love both areas. Obviously, you guys heard a lot about Rocklin on the previous videos, but you know, Folsom is also a great area. Folsom also has great schools.
Yeah.
But one thing about Folsom is it's like more up in the hills, closer to like El Dorado. So I don't know, location wise. So let's start with maybe location wise. So
well, it's off the 50. It's closer to South Lake Tahoe.
Yes.
Right? It's kind of starting to make that climb into the mountains before you get there.
But then, you know, it is further from like the Bay Area, or, you know, like if people are trying to kind of go out towards like the Sacramento airport, it'll be further than Rocklin. So Rocklin is a little, so I think Folsom's closer to like the Lake Tahoe, Sierra area, Sierra Nevadas. But then Rocklin would probably be closer to like the Sacramento airport or like the Bay Area.
And then going east, you're going to pass Auburn, you're going to go to Truckee, and then you could go to Reno, so it'd be closer that route. But Folsom is going to be South Lake Tahoe.
Yeah,
right?
But from Rocklin to Folsom, it's like you have to take back roads.
You're not taking a freeway, you're taking back roads.
So it's like from Rocklin, because his mom lives out in El Dorado, and then we also have a lot of clients in Folsom. So from us to get to Rocklin, we go through Roseville, through the back roads, and then up, you know, to
50.
Yeah.
What when we first moved out here from the Bay Area to Rocklin, I fell in love with Folsom right away. I was asking, where do I ride my bike? Where do I mountain bike? Where do we go to cool off? And everybody kept saying Folsom, Folsom Lake, American River. I found our first summer we spent at Folsom Lake over and over and over again, and that's where I learned to ride my road bike, but then found out I could ride my mountain bike. I could jump in the river. They have a downtown that was super, there's just so much fun. It's historical.
Hold on, here's a plug. Watch our top things to do in Folsom video.
And to give you a little context, that's like my first video. Kind of wrote out what we're going to do, because I learned a lot, and I wasn't doing YouTube yet. She was. I was like, let me see what I could do. I'm very proud of the video. How many views does that one have?
A good amount.
Thousands, right? Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And those were actual, you'll see us at the lake. That was us when we were just having a good time at the lake, right?
For sure.
American River. Love these things. They also have the Palladio, which is a huge outdoor mall.
So then that would compare to Roseville's fountains, but Rocklin doesn't have anything like that.
Yeah, so Rocklin's going to be a little bit already developed out. It has a little bit more growth, but for the most part, it's established. You're not going to get a huge mall out here.
Yeah.
You're going to go to Roseville for that, right? And kind of use them for that. But they still have a lot of pockets of shopping centers all throughout Rocklin.
And then in Old Rocklin, there's a big shopping center that has like the big Bass Pro Shop and a whole bunch of shopping. So that would probably, in my opinion, be the biggest shopping center in Rocklin.
Yeah.
It would be in the older part of Rocklin off the Highway 80. And then you also have like the auto mall right there where Tesla and Target and all that stuff is. So, but then when you come up, so that's on the 80. And then if you go onto the 65, which is like the newer part of Rocklin, that's where you're not going to see as many like big shopping centers. There's going to be little small shopping centers, but then you get into Roseville, and that's where you'll get like the Home Depots and the Galleria Mall and stuff like that.
I feel like Folsom might be a little bit busier
than
Rocklin is. Rocklin has that home style, slower paced vibe. Love that about
Yeah.
Rockland.
Yeah.
Folsom, what's the growth going to be like there? What are they
Oh
doing right
man.
now?
Okay, so there's a few areas on Folsom that's still developing. Folsom Ranch, I think they were building like 10,000 homes just in Folsom Ranch. So
That's right off the freeway.
yeah, so like if you're look on the 50, there's gonna be the Palladio, and then here you'll see a ton of empty land with new homes. That's Folsom Ranch. They finished building up on the hills, which is like Russell Ranch.
Yep.
But Folsom Ranch is supposed to have like 10,000 homes. They have like brand new parks, brand new schools. I mean,
And I love the price point for Folsom. Folsom is on a higher price point.
Yeah.
They have some really, really, really nice neighborhoods and some mansions in certain neighborhoods. And we've toured some really nice houses.
So like,
But the Russell Ranch is
Up
above
on the hill.
Folsom Ranch. Russell Ranch is in the millions,
So
but then Russell.
there's a good comparison. So JMC Homes has the same models in Whitney Ranch, which is in Rockland. So Whitney Ranch is in the newer part of Rockland. It's kind of up on, it's not as high on the hill as Folsom is, but Russell
They have
Ranch
the
has
same
the
models,
same
yeah.
exact models. And I think those models were going for like 1.6, 1.7 when we were looking at them, maybe like end of last year. And then in Whitney Ranch, they were probably still in like the 1.3, 1.4.
Yeah, there's your
So
price.
that's
price
kind
point.
of like a price difference. These are larger homes, obviously.
So
like,
that's the higher point, Russell Ranch, and then you go down where they're building right now,
Folsom
Ranch. I think they started at a community called by Tri-Point, the Cannerly community. A couple months ago, they had a release for $490,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,700 square foot home, and they sold out like that.
oh, totally.
Right, but they also they raised the price into the low 500. I think they're about 515
yeah,
right
they're
now. But that
515.
price point in Folsom,
Folsom.
right off the freeway next to the Palladio, is unheard of. So
Yeah, and I think the reason why they did that is they were playing around with the price because the structure of that community was very different than what they're used to. So it's like 4 houses with a shared driveway. So they're single family homes next to each other. So there's 4, but you guys share a driveway that goes into your, which is not
smaller
very
lot.
common out in Folsom.
yeah, but they have so much building. Like right across the way, they have
Yeah.
Taylor Morrison, and that's a
That's
starting
even
point
like
of the high
580 or
500.
something,
So
yeah.
so it's cool. Like right above you, you could get a $2 million house, 1.5. And then right underneath, you're starting at 500.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's pretty cool.
For
The
sure.
growth in Folsom, there's still a lot to grow. It's right next to El Dorado,
Mm-hmm.
which is a really, really cool, beautiful city that we have family that actually
And
live
there's a
there
lot
and
of
love it.
wineries out there too.
What?
Yeah.
So when it comes to Folsom, I feel like I love the river. I love the lake. I go run the lake to this day.
Well, here's another thing though. So like Folsom Lake is huge. So like Folsom, you're going to see a lot of like more mountains, like more areas to maybe like hike in the mountains or and around the lake. Rockland, there's a lot of walking trails and parks out here too. So it's not like it's a little bit kind of a different vibe too.
Sure.
But you have access to Folsom Lake in Granite Bay, which is like 20 minutes from here. So you
Yes,
don't have to drive all the way to Folsom to get
Right.
to the lake. But in Folsom, obviously it's there. So Rockland, has walking trails, has different places to go. But then, they have their access point to Folsom Lake.
So I'm set in Rockland. Whenever I go to Folsom, we go all through cities around here. I always think if I left Rockland, which I don't think I'm going to, but if I did, I would probably
Yeah.
start looking in Folsom.
Yeah.
We've seen older mansions. We've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
super unique neighborhoods.
There's-
We've seen
yeah.
new builds.
Yeah.
We do recommend Folsom. We recommend Rockland. It's hard to have that
Yeah,
debate.
totally.
They are different, but they're very similar as well.
So there are certain communities too in Folsom that's kind of cool. Like when you exit off the freeway, like you look up and like in the hills, there's like huge mansions that are like just overlooking the whole city. And you don't get that in Rockland. So Rockland, you know, the hill that you're looking at is like Whitney Ranch, Whitney Oaks area. But these ones are literally like huge modern looking houses, and they're like literally at the peak of the hills, and it's kind of cool. Like that's kind of schmancy for me.
I don't know about you, but are you guys getting hungry talking about this? Let's go eat.
Yeah. So speaking of food though, Rocklin has, you know, some good restaurants. Obviously we have like a few of our favorites that we go to, but I feel like Folsom has more of like dining too. Like
Sure.
they have Flame and Fire. They have all the restaurants at the Pladio.
Sure.
They have, you know, the Mimosa House.
Yeah, they're gonna have more options.
Yeah, so I feel like there's more options like within the Folsom area. You know, obviously Rocklin has some too, kind of scattered here and there, but for the most part, we
On a
go
smaller
to like
scale, yeah.
Roseville to eat, and even like Lincoln.
The downtown. I was visiting my grandmother in the hospital in Folsom, and we were driving through at night the downtown in Folsom, and I was like,
he called me. He was
wow,
like, "Oh my gosh, people are out."
They even blocked off some of the streets. Like, man, we need to get out more often because we're home buddies. But they have a really cool downtown area as well. So, you know, I really like Folsom. I recommend it if you're looking for more stuff to do. You want that lake and that river. You want to be close to South Lake Tahoe. Amazing schools, amazing neighborhoods. Folsom's going to be your bet. You want to slow it down a little bit, still have good schools, have a slower vibe, less things to do, but still plenty to do.
But going into like the Roseville area, which is right next to Rocklin.
Rocklin is a great place. They're both great place to start, raise a family. You can't go wrong with either. So if you guys have any questions, we are literally getting calls from people all around the country. I think the furthest out we got a call from Guam. We moved him from Guam to Roseville. Yeah. He loves it. Don't be afraid to just reach out to us. We know there's a lot of people with questions. We are experts out here. We're seeing these places. We're going out every single day. We're going out right after this to see what's going on in the area. So we'd love to chat. Love to hear from you.
Yeah, and again, if you're new to our channel, give a little love to that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye.
See you guys.